Peace, everybody. This is Left Side of the Brain. How y'all doing today? Good. Well, I myself, I'm doing good. I'm talking kind of loud because I got the windows down, so I want you to hear me loud and clear. Did you all enjoy the red light edition last night? If you haven't seen the red light edition, go check that video out. Even before you check this one out, go check out the red light edition. You will enjoy it. I'm telling you, you will thoroughly enjoy that red light edition. This is Left Side of the Brain. For those who don't know, Left Side of the Brain, aka the Organic Portal Destroyer, coming at you once again. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit the likes button. Excuse me. I just had a great lunch. It was real good. I went to this place called Zoe's Kitchen. Y'all ever heard of that? This place called Zoe's Kitchen. Yeah, but anyway, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Excuse me. Hit the likes button. Add the channel on Instagram at Left Side of the Brain 2. You haven't donated yet, go ahead and donate. Today, it's gonna be a chill video. Well, that's my intention. I think we can have a little break. It's gonna be a little chill video. You know what's funny? I've been seeing people in the comment section, and when I see somebody new, I respond to them. I say, hey, I'm not familiar with you. Who are you? You know, y'all, when you come into this tabernacle of the United Souls, you gotta identify yourself. This your first time commenting. We need to know who you are. Are you some organic portal trying to slip in and cause confusion? I mean, good thing I hit the brakes. Are you some organic portal coming in here trying to cause confusion? Let us know. This your first time commenting? You haven't commented since we've been doing these videos, as thorough as these videos been? So you commented for the first time. I'm gonna ask, who are you? I'm not familiar with you. A lot of people I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with your profile pics. I know your lingo. Like, if somebody comments, if it's a certain person I'm used to, I'll be like, even before I read it, I already know this person. I say, I'm about to get some real good information from this person. Because certain people leave very lengthy comments, which is I appreciate that, because it lets me know that you are really listening to the information. You're not just skimming through the video. You actually taking your time. And the type of videos we do, it deserves paragraphs. I'm not one of these I'm not one of these people who run the channel and just, see a comment and put a heart. I don't do that. Especially when somebody took their time. When there's always kitchen today. The Mediterranean food is real good. Especially when somebody took their time to write a comment. I'm not going to just, waste their time, because I'm not a energy thief, and I'm gonna read the comment and I'm gonna get a lot of information out of it. Now, I may not go as heavy responding because hold up. Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I would like to get a banana boat, and if you can add strawberries to it.
A banana boat and what size?
I'll just take the 20 ounce. That'll be it.
Okay, your total is $647.
647, thank you. Yeah, so I'm about to get this smoothie. I was like, how y'all doing? Because I just do that. You know what I mean? I just do stuff, man, to lighten the mood, man. Because when I'm exchanging money and they over my food, I'm gonna treat them a certain kind of way. you know. And I'm about to get into some stuff pertaining that. This video about to get good, but y'all just chill. It's kind of slow. I'm not really, this is just a chill video, you know what I'm saying? Because last night, that video I did last night, I didn't expect it to go that long, and it's real heavy. I think y'all should go check that out. I titled it "The Greatest Explanation Ever About Existence." So y'all go check that out. Hold up. Let me give him this.
Banana boat, strawberry?
Yeah.
Alright, 647.
Alright. Yeah. Got me a banana boat smoothie. I go to Smoothie King.
There you go.
Alright, man, thanks. Yeah, I dealt with that dude before at the window. He's a pretty cool guy. Just a young teenager, you know, with a summer job before they go back to school and whatnot. It's all good. I used to work at a fast food place when I was young. I worked at Taco Bell. I worked at Jersey Mike's. My first job ever was Taco Bell, but I didn't stay there long.
Here's your straw. Your smoothie will be out shortly.
All right, man, thank you. I worked at Taco Bell this is a leisure video, y'all, because we've been going heavy. I think we need to get it chilled down. Yeah, I used to work at Taco Bell when I was in high school, and I remember I only worked there for about a week. Me and my cousin, we went together to get jobs, my female cousin, and we was real close, and we went to the job, and it was my first time working, and I only lasted for a week. Isn't that something? I only lasted for a week because, you know, I was young. I didn't know anything about responsibilities then. And even then,
Here you go.
all right, man, can I get some napkins?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Even then, I felt,
Here you go.
appreciate it, man. You want to say hey to the YouTube channel? You want to give a shout out? Say left side of the brain. You can give a shout out.
Alright, my name's Andrew.
All right, peace, man. Take care.
You too.
Yes, Andrew, man. He's a good kid. I've dealt with him before. He's a good kid, man. Yeah, but you know, I didn't know anything about responsibilities back then. And even then, I felt closeted when I was around people. I felt like I was living for others even back then. You know, but back then I was younger, you know, I had the feeling of the stuff I'm talking about today, but not actually the information to go along with it. You see what I'm saying? But it's all good. That's how it is though when you're coming into this awakening. When you first get up, even like when you first get up out of your sleep, you don't know you got to get your senses together, right? And then you go wash your face and stuff. It's the same thing with this conscious awakening. So when I was back then, I was aware that I didn't fit in, but I didn't know how to put it into words back then. You see what I'm saying? So you can say my journey started back then. And long story short, I only lasted for 1 week on the job. Yeah, go ahead and laugh. They had called me in one day and I didn't come in. And I made up an excuse and they fired me and I didn't even care. And that's how it is when you're young. You just carefree like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't worried about bills. I was living with my parents. You know, everything was taken care of. You know how it was. You know how it is. But I'm glad that I have gained responsibilities now, because that's a part of growing up. Yeah, man. What else I want to talk about? Again, just chilling. Had a very deep conversation last night, so I don't think I have to go in too heavy. But y'all know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about this. What was I thinking about? I was thinking about this morning. Sometimes before I get out of the bed, I just be pondering about stuff. I do like this early morning meditation, and I'll have my eyes closed and my consciousness just be giving me lessons. I just be learning, you know. And a lot of the stuff that I put in these videos, it comes from my morning sessions. And I was thinking this morning, after I had did that video last night, it dawned upon me that love is a childish emotion that's left over from the time you was a kid. Okay? Wanting to be loved is a very immature emotion. And it all relates to this loneliness thing that we are on right now. Okay? Love is also a part of that living for others thing that I was talking about last night. And again, if you didn't see the red light edition, go back to see it, because I'm not going to do too much explaining about it in this video. Now, love, hold up, y'all. I really don't care how this video come out now, because I'm chilling and I'm in traffic and I don't really care right now, because I'm not about to get in an accident. If I get in an accident, how many of y'all are going to send me some money? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, love is a childish emotion, man. And it's also a sign that you're living for others. You living in the eyes of others. You're looking for the approval of other people just by wanting to be loved. You see what I'm saying? I want somebody to love me. You see what I'm saying? Chasing love and relationships. Another thing, like relationships, man. A relationship, that's also living for somebody else. I'm at the point, man, that I'm like burnt out with this whole male and female thing, because it's one of those things where you can't be yourself to get what it is that you're looking for. And if you're a man and you're dealing with a woman, all you're looking for is sex. At least when I'm dealing with a woman, I mean, companionship is good, a little conversation, but ultimately it's sex. That's all you want. If the woman told you, I'm not going to have sex with you, then what you going to be, you know, still conversating with her for? You see what I'm saying? Every animal in the animal kingdom, when they dealing with females, it's not for friendship. You see a male lion and a lioness, if they around each other, it's about mating. It's not about being friends. Men and women were not made to be friends. It's okay to be cordial because we are humans, but we got sexual personalities and we have sexual desires. So if you're around a woman long enough, you're going to start feeling sexual. And excuse me if this video is coming out choppy. I really don't care, because you're going to have sexual feelings for that female. And I noticed that being in relationships, it goes hand in hand with living for others, because like I said, you have to do extra stuff just to get what it is that you want. Everything outside of dealing with a human, you don't have to do all this extra stuff to get what it is that you want. You see what I'm saying? If you got an apple tree in your backyard, you don't have to convince the apple to be eaten. You just take the apple and you bite into it. For a woman, you have to convince her before she lets you bite into her. You got to do a lot of extra stuff. And, you know, I was saying in last night's video how men have been taught to be dishonest mainly by females. Because you see a woman and it's something about a woman's voice. A woman's voice reminds you of the voice of a child. If you are a man, you know what I'm speaking about. A woman has a shallow voice, meaning Her voice has more soprano treble in her voice. A man's voice is deep. It has a deeper resonance to it. And subconsciously, when a man hears the voice of another man, subconsciously, he doesn't even know it. He has less compassion because that man's voice reminds him of an adult. But a woman, she has the voice that the average man had when he was a 9-year-old kid or a 6-year-old kid, because she don't have testosterone and bass in her voice. So just hearing her voice reminds that man of the voice of his mother. Okay? It reminds that man of the voice of his mother. And having said that, men listen to their mothers. Your mother say, do this, go clean your room, do this. You know, you can overpower your mother, but you only listen to her out of respect. Smoothie King, this is the banana boat. I get a banana boat mixed with the strawberries. See, you can, when a man reaches a certain age, you can overpower your mother. But 9 times out of 10, you can't overpower your father. Feel me? You can't overpower your father. But you can overpower your mother. Right? Right? Now, you only respect your mother because it is your mother. And the sound of her voice, just like an elephant, right? In the circus. That elephant can overpower that circus trainer, but it doesn't out of fear and respect. Okay, so the same can be said with your mother. Now, I'm equating this mother's voice to a subconscious connection in the mind of men. And when you hear that female's voice, you act a certain kind of way. You act dishonest because you submit yourself to her even though you are stronger than her. Right? You wouldn't submit yourself to nothing else in nature that you were stronger than. You wouldn't submit yourself to a puppy when you heard its voice. You're stronger than a puppy. But you submit yourself to a female's voice through programming. You call it respect. Respect is just another word for programming. You are programmed to respect certain people. Not saying it's wrong, not being biased against it. I'm just saying neutrally. I'm being neutral with it. Yet and still, you are programmed to respect certain people. And it's something about that woman's voice that makes a man become dishonest with himself. You hear a child's voice in that woman's voice. And because all your life you put your mother on the pedestal, even women that are not related to you, you will put them on the pedestal. And to get with them, i.e. to have sex with them, you will follow the rules that they have set. The rules of engagement in this world is set by females, because females control the atmosphere. And now I'm talking about in a sense of relationships, right? So how men become dishonest is you'll talk to a female and you'll say things to her that you really don't want to say. You'll talk to a female in ways that you really don't want to talk. So then when you're out on a date with a woman, or if you are on the phone with a woman, see, women sit around and they wait for men to initiate the lead. But the thing is, men don't know if the initiation will be accepted or rejected. And living in today's world, you know, you risk sexual harassment charges. You risk a lot. So because of that, a lot of men are worried and they become dishonest when they are around females. They'll say things in a conversation. They'll say things on a date that they really don't want to say. Instead of just being blunt and straightforward like they are with other men, they tend not to be that way with females. Instead of saying, I just want to have sex with you, I really don't want to get to know you, I don't want to take you out to eat and pay for your meal on this date, I really don't want to do all this stuff, Lisa, Keisha, Sharon, I really don't want to do this. But because they know that that would jeopardize their chances, they be dishonest. Who teach them this dishonesty is the female. They've seen women say things like, all men are dogs, or all men want is sex. You don't know how to treat a woman. They'll say all this type of stuff, and it goes into the subconscious of the man, and in turn, that man will become what? Dishonest. He will become dishonest because that female made him be that way. Now, he don't have to do that, but if he did the opposite of what she required, his chances of getting with a woman would be slim to none, unless he's messing with a prostitute, and that requires money. So that's why, on this loneliness path, you gotta stop seeking love. Love is a childish emotion. Seeking to be in relationships is also a childish emotion. Children, a baby, it wants to be attached to his mother at all times. You take the baby away from his mother and the baby starts crying. You take some of these men who haven't grown up and matured yet, you take them away from society and they get lonely. You're so used to being around people. You haven't learned to be lonely. You see? And I can't drill this enough. You gotta learn how to embrace loneliness. You have to learn that love is a childish emotion. On this spiritual path, you have to mature to that level. Me personally, I'm tired of dealing with the opposite sex. No, this ain't no gay. No, don't get it wrong. I talk to females, but what I'm saying is, over time, that shit get worse, man. It gets worse. Today's video is brought to you by Smoothie King. Over time, it gets worse, man. I mean, you having to pander and placate to a female over and over and over and over just to have sex with her. It gets taxing on your soul, man. Having friends, period, man. Like I said, people with a lot of friends are weak people, man. Look at all the sacrificing you have to do to be in a relationship. You got to sacrifice yourself. Now, sometimes you may find somebody that is on the same page. But there is always 1 degree of separation between everybody. Even if it's a hairline degree of separation. That goes for your male friends, your female friends. There is a degree of separation between everything in nature. There's 1 degree of separation between everything in nature. So, having said that, friendships is a diversion, and love is a diversion. Seeking love. Okay? God himself, he doesn't need love. Love yourself. And what is love? Love equates to survival. That's what love is. You just wanting to survive. What is survival? survival, remember, I said everything boils down to pain and pleasure. Survival is just living without pain. That's what it is. Making sure you live to see the next day without pain. You don't need nobody for that. In fact, love is unnecessary for life. I think I've said that before, but I'll say it again. It doesn't matter. Love is unnecessary for life. You don't need love to eat food. You don't need love to go to the store. You don't need love to drive a car, but you do need the survival instinct to do those things, because it takes a survival mentality to want to take care of yourself. Like, when I say you don't need love, I mean love from somebody else. You don't need that to live. All you need is yourself. Loneliness, that's all you need. You don't need other people. Even being around people makes me feel like I'm in prison. I was thinking about it today when I was in Zoe's kitchen. Like, you gotta talk to the person behind the register. Even if you don't like that person, because they're dealing with your food, you gotta be dishonest with yourself and make yourself want to talk politely with them, even though you don't want to talk politely to them. But you know that it's a social norm to be cordial. And having to be polite to people that you really don't want to be polite to, it's a part of survival, and it's a part of fear. Because it's a part of dependency as well. Because if you knew that you wasn't dependent on that person for nothing, and if you knew totally that that person couldn't do you any harm, or what people thought about you, treating that said person, you would be any way you wanted to be to that person. Like I said, God does not fear anything because he cannot be placed under punishment by anything. So whatever he does, it is acceptable because he's the one that's lashing out the punishment. So because people, and I'm not saying being good to good people, I mean like people you know are not good and they not for you, but you still find yourself respecting them and talking cordially to them and bending over backwards for them. That's due to you being in a organic portal realm and having to be a blue pill and red pill at the same time. Even that concept that I speak about, having to be a blue pill and red pill at the same time, we can attribute that to being around people. It's a restriction. Having to respect people that you really don't want to respect. You see, you wouldn't have to do that if you spent more time by yourself. I hate talking to certain people sometimes, but sometimes you just have to. You be put in certain predicaments and you really have no choice, you know, because you don't want to come off as rude, even though you don't care inside of yourself if you are rude to this said person. But because you are, let's say at a job, it could be your boss, you know what I'm saying? He may hate you, but the company policy makes him tolerate you. Just like in the United States. Like, let's say black people in the United States. A lot of the laws in America that abolish slavery and things like that, it's not that the American government really wanted to get rid of restrictions upon blacks or whatever. The law made the racist whites have to tolerate black people. And I don't even, you know, I don't really want to get into that racism and stuff because it's so bigger than that. But just using that as an example, a lot of people during those times, they didn't want slavery to end, but the country was in shambles over slavery. So the government had to abandon slavery because for the betterment of the country. So a lot of the racists who really didn't want slavery to end, They just tolerated it. They tolerated black people, even though they really didn't want to. Now, saying that to say what I'm saying, in this world of slavery, sometimes you have to tolerate people that you really don't want to tolerate. But that's because you are around them. The more time you spend to yourself, the less restrictions you are under. In fact, the only real time that you are free is when you are by yourself. And sometimes when you by yourself, you still don't feel free because you still got the voices of people in your mind. You see what I'm saying? You still dealing with something your mother told you not to do when you was 12 years old. Like my mom, she used to tell me not to take my shoes off without untying them. And I remember I got a spanking one time for that. So even now when I'm grown, I remember her saying that. I remember that spanking, and I still untie my shoes before I take them off. And even the times when I forget to do it, I feel like I did something wrong. But I didn't do anything wrong because I'm no longer under the rulership of my mother. I don't live in her house any longer, you see. But it's just an example for what I'm saying. Because that was instilled in me, sometimes when I'm by myself, that programming is still in my mind. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm speaking about. So that's why even when you are by yourself and away from the public arena, you're still going to find yourself having to detoxify. You get what I'm saying? You're going to find yourself, and this is Left Side of the Brain. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is a commercial break. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the likes button. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Today's message is brought to you by Smoothie King. This is a banana boat with strawberry smoothie. And it's good, people. A lot of times you will find yourself doing things that was programmed into you. A lot of your behavior. So even when you're by yourself, you'll find yourself having to detoxify, right? Because it's an ever-going process. Think about it. You've been living this life for X amount of years. Say if you just really started hitting it heavy. It's going to take a while for you to regain yourself. I mean, look how far away we are from the time of the great falling away. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be a while before you can actually regain hold of yourself. That's why sometimes, I encourage people to go on retreats. Take a retreat. Take a vacation by yourself. You see what I'm saying? Enjoy the weather by yourself. You have to do that just to gain refocus of your life. Because they took a lot of our life away from us. When we was young, they programmed us. They programmed little kids to be dishonest, especially the male kids. Let me tell y'all something. In this world, they trying to get the male energy. They trying to turn men into slaves, more so than the females. That's why when wars take place and when another tribe take over another tribe, what they do, they kill the men and they keep the women alive. Because the woman, she's the organic portal doorway. So they're going to keep the women alive. They can have babies through the women. You see what I'm saying? They're not worried about the female and the little boys who haven't matured and turned into men yet. The reason why they let them live, because those little boys without fathers, once they kill their fathers in battle and they leave the women alive, they can instill whatever they want inside of those little boys. They can turn them into feminists, turn them into homosexuals, turn them into slaves. They can do whatever. That's part of how you make a slave. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when your young boys are young, what they do to them, you know, when men are programmed to be sacrificed in this world. We are sacrificed in war, work. We told to work to the bones for a woman. Meanwhile, the woman, she keeps, because she's not required to be a leader. You know, you got women marching for women's rights and all that. It's a bunch of bogus BS. Because the women really don't want the position of a man. It's not their first nature. They only want it at opportune times. But really, women, they want to be mothers. Trust me. So the man, he's taught to be mature, to be a leader. The woman, remember I was talking about that dishonesty that men are taught to be? Women are not taught out of their dishonesty. That's why they keep that same blunt attitude that children have. Children have this bluntness. If they don't like you, they let you know. If you look silly to them, they let you know. You gotta, no, Johnny, you don't say that to an adult. You know, you gotta tell them not to do this, not to do that. For a man, less things are permissible than with a female. More things are permissible for a woman. If a woman can't lift a heavy object, she got an excuse for it. She's a woman. If a woman runs from a roach, she has an excuse for it. She's a woman. If she is full of vanity and taking pictures all day and wearing makeup, she has an excuse for it. She is a woman. First thing a person will say, oh, that's just a woman's nature. It's like this. A woman's first nature is the shortcomings in men. What men are not supposed to do, that's a female's first nature. If a man was cold to a woman, like very cold-hearted, and I'm gonna give you all an example. You ever been out on a date with a woman and it's not working out and you just want to leave? A man will hold back not leaving. A woman will leave. If a woman don't like you, and when she's done with you, you can text her, she's not going to respond. A man will be more so lenient, and he won't just be so, because we got so much respect for women. We was instilled that from day one, to have women never learn to respect men. So they, were never taught to be dishonest. In fact, honesty is a part of a female's survival mechanism in this world, because she has to pick a certain type of mate for the organic portal realm. So she has to be very honest and blunt to ward off undesirable men. That's why women are so brute and blunt and cold-hearted, because this is a cold-hearted world. And she is the doorway into this ice box that we live in. We live in an ice box. And she is the temperature regulator. Smoothie is melting, yo. I gotta drink it. She is the regulator, right? She is going to determine if you are fit enough to be in this world or not. The more dishonest you are, that means the more of a slave you become. Because the more dishonest you are, the more you will deny your true feelings. That's why when you're around people, y'all, you're going to be notice. You're going to be doing a lot of things. Now, this part right here is for men and women. Like, in my videos, it's like this. Okay, if you're a woman, if you're listening to this video, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Only thing you can do is respect me for that. You got to look up to me as a man for that. Because a lot of men won't tell you honest things. Now, if you're a man, you know what I'm saying is true. Okay? So, as a woman, you got to understand that you were created a certain kind of way to play a certain part. Remember? Go back and see the video. Playing your role. I did that day before yesterday. Go back and watch that video. So don't get upset. Don't get all, if you all bent out of shape, that means you are immature. And I know that women on this channel is mature because I've spoke to several of them in the comment section. And I'm going to say this. The women that are on this channel, they seem to be pretty mature, and that's good. Because like I say, it's rare to find a woman who want to even tune in to stuff like this. So I commend those women who are on this channel. I've even had women to support the Patreon, believe it or not. And I was shocked. Like, wow, the woman, even some of the things I said, it seemed like it would make them upset. But some women have even donated to the Patreon. And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? But this part right here I'm about to say is for men and women. If you're around a lot of people, just notice how dishonest you have to be. If you're on your job, if you at that wedding, I hate going to family weddings. Because you go, you got to be around all them aunts and cousins and people. You got to act like you all glad to see them. But you got to do it, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be in a family reunion or at the wedding causing no problem, but you got to put on that smile. I would love to hear some of your stories about that in the comment section about family gatherings. That's real hilarious, but you got to put up with them just to get by. You know what I'm saying? And the more dishonest you are, the more you'll find yourself doing things that you really don't want to do. And that all relates to this organic portal realm that we're living in, man. Only reason why we doing things that we don't want to do is because we living in a mixed society. And I don't mean mixed by races. I mean mixed people with souls with people with who are organic portals. Us mixed with them. Us stands for United Souls. Mixed with them trivial people or them deadbeats. If you know what I mean by deadbeats when I say that and trivial people, this is a quiz for the video. Put it in the comment section because I've said that before in another video. What do I mean when I say trivial people and what do I mean when I say deadbeats? What is the real term for those people? Trivial people and deadbeats. So when you're around them trivial people and those deadbeats, that's why you have to do things that you really don't want to do. Now just imagine if you was around all of us, United Souls. Just imagine if you was in a little village with United Souls. You wouldn't have to be dishonest then. Because everybody would have the same understanding. But because we mixed in, there was a lot of confusion. And confusion is what? Confusion is the opposite of peace. I mean, peace is the absence of confusion. So confusion, yes. Yeah, I'm right. Confusion. Peace is the absence of confusion. That's right. Confusion is the opposite of peace. So that's why you feel these fluttering feelings when you're around these people, because they just opposite of you, man. Simple as that. They're just opposite of you. And that's why having to respect is also a form of imprisonment. I gotta respect this person. And I mean, the social norm definition of respect, it's a form of imprisonment. I gotta respect this person. I gotta respect this person. You know what I mean? I gotta respect him. Even though I don't like this bastard, I still gotta respect him. You get what I'm saying? I know. I hate it too. You know what I'm saying? Having to respect people who don't even deserve respect. That's the worst part about it. But that's what this organic portal realm and society will do. It'll have you bending over backwards when you don't really want to have to bend over. And bending over is a submission. So yes, if you got a soul and you're living in this world, and if you are working at a job, you are in a submissive position. Whether you believe it or not, if you don't own your own job, if you're not working for yourself, if you don't have your own company or your own business, you are a slave. You are submitting to them. You are submitting to them. And when I say them, we know the definition of them on this channel. The only time you're not submitting with them is if you are working with somebody who has a soul. At that point, I would say you are in a partnership with a fellow brethren of the soul family. Even if you work for them, if they got a soul and they not an organic portal, at that time, it's just a mutual partnership with a good person. But when you're on these regular jobs, these city jobs, rest assured, you are in a submissive role. You are working for the system. You see what I'm saying? And it's like getting on this thing, man. You know, this living for others, man. I was thinking about it this morning. I do my exercise in the morning, right? And I was thinking, man, like, you know, all we doing really, we pretend. No, I'm gonna say that for another video. I'm gonna do that on the next video. I'm about to end this video right now. Like I said, this is something light. You know what I mean? I'm just playing around. This is Smoothie King. Today's video is brought by Smoothie King. I don't really care because we did a heavy video last night. This is just a chill, relaxed video. I mean, some points was probably heavy to you, but to me, it was just a light-hearted video. Go ahead and hit the likes button, subscribe, donate to the Patreon. I'm gonna leave all that stuff in the subscription. Y'all gonna hear from me again today. This left side. Peace out.